We're restoring this beautiful staircase that was covered for nearly 80 years. Gathering the pieces to assemble the staircase has taken us 2 years, and we're excited to show you what we have collected and how we're bringing this stunning 1884 staircase back to life. So please join us in this installment of our staircase series as we review the parts we found for the staircase, where we found them, and the challenges we faced along the way. If you have any questions about the staircase, the parts, or why we have chosen to do something a particular way, please let us know in the comments. Also, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your advice and support is really appreciated. We met a couple on Instagram who had a set of balusters just like ours, but they were too far away to go pick them up, so we arranged to have them sent to us. But we still needed the rest of the staircase. After searching for months, we found a newel post, balusters, and handrail on Facebook Marketplace. But this balustrade was not quite the same as what we had, and some of the handrail was not the right shape for our staircase. We needed to keep looking for handrail pieces. One day we spotted the pieces we were looking for, but they were attached to a handrail. And to get the pieces we had to purchase everything, a whole staircase. From the moment we stepped foot in Chapline House, we looked at the wall that separated the two units in the house, and we thought, we're going to bring this back to a single family home. And we want to take down this wall. We really hoped, and even I think maybe believed, that we would find the balustrade inside the wall. The balustrade is the newel post and the spindles and the handrail, or at least parts of it. But when we took down the wall, we didn't find the balustrade. We did find some beautiful trim, so we had to hunt for a balustrade. Meanwhile, we visited the Smith family workshop in Neff, Ohio, to see how they were coming along on creating the bull noses for the treads and routing out the treads where the spindles would go. They showed us some of their projects, including a window project where they're restoring the windows for the building that used to be the old B&O building, but is now Northern West Virginia Community College. I have a couple catalogs here, Robert's Illustrated Millwork catalog and the Hull Historical Moldings catalog. You may be familiar with Brent Hull, who has a YouTube channel. He is a great resource, has a really warm and engaging style, and good guy. And this catalog has a lot of different moldings in here. It's really a fabulous resource with all sorts of illustrations and profiles. In the Robert's Illustrated Millwork catalog, there are pages of newel posts. There are pages of handrails and the profiles of handrails. And of course, balusters. Look, there's 4 dozen balusters here in this. Also depictions of various staircases. Here's an interesting set of diagrams for staircases that are different types of spiral staircases. So the interesting thing about a parts catalog here is this is really a turn of the century catalog. In other words, the people that were building houses could go through a catalog like this and pick a newel post, pick a handrail, pick the balusters that they wanted and the treads and various profiles of these things. So check out the Hull Historical Molding catalog and also Robert's Illustrated Millwork catalog, again if you're looking for parts. Here are the 3 sets of balusters. There is always a short and a long baluster on each tread. Note the subtle differences between the various sets of balusters. The first step was to clean all the spindles in a mild soapy water solution. With the spindles cleaned up, the only remaining task is to freshen up the shellac. This is done by brushing on denatured alcohol. The alcohol dissolves into the existing shellac finish, and when it dries, it leaves a fresher, fine finish. Look at the difference. Here are 3 spindles, one that has not been cleaned, one that has been cleaned with soap and water, and the third one has been cleaned with soap and water and then had denatured alcohol applied to freshen the shellac. In the summer of 2023, we found a balustrade on Facebook Marketplace. Sissy and I drove up to the beautiful town of Newton Falls, Ohio, and there we met a wonderful couple, Rich and Nancy. Not only did they sell us the balustrade, but they told us the history. Gather round and let me tell you the story of the balustrade and how it was saved twice from certain demise. The stairs were originally in his grandparents' farmhouse in Lordstown, Ohio. Rich believed the house was built in 1850 or 1860. His grandparents passed away in the 1970s and the farmhouse was left to his grandfather's two sisters, Rich's aunt. The aunts decided to sell the house and land for about $80,000. Rich and his two brothers asked to buy the house from them, but for some reason, the aunts refused, and they ultimately sold it to a stranger for $45,000. A couple years went by, and the house was abandoned again by the owner and left to fall apart. Vandals began to destroy it. So Rich and his brothers went in and salvaged the stair parts, which Nancy wanted for a future build. Rich stored the parts in the attic of their garage for almost 50 years, waiting for the build that never happened. Meanwhile, the grandparents' house ultimately burned to the ground. In the last couple of years, Newton Falls experienced some very bad storms that severely damaged Rich and Nancy's garage. But somehow the balustrade stayed safe. We like to think that we saved the balustrade for a second time.